Hey everybody, welcome to the show. So we're just starting a little late. Had a little mishap with the cat, which left me a nice little present on the floor. So today we got Austin in the show here, and why don't I just add him in?
Hey, there we go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
So I think most people know who Austin is. Maybe just introduce a little.
These people who are watching are my subscribers. They came over from a video I posted just a few minutes ago. So thank you for coming over.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody else is gonna watch this later. Maybe just give them a little piece about yourself.
Sure. My name is Austin Guidry. Right now I am teaching at Sichuan University in Chengdu, which is the capital of Sichuan province, China. I moved over to China in February of 2011. And I came over originally to study. I studied kind of Chinese, and I also did my senior thesis at university here in China. And then after I graduated, came back over and just started teaching. First in Lanzhou, then in Tianjin, now in Chengdu.
Nice.
That's me.
Awesome. All right, I'll start off with some questions that I have here. I'll pop it up here. Why did you start your YouTube channel? What's the background for that?
Yeah, I started the channel right before I came over the first time. So I think I started it in like January 2011 or December 2010, because as I was going to come over to China, the university that I was going to study abroad at had never had a foreign student before. They were starting the study abroad program just for me, and I was going to be the only foreign student. And I was like, well, I don't have anybody I can talk to. And then I get on YouTube, try to Google stuff about the city. There's like nothing. There was one like Weebly website or something about Lanzhou, and there's no information. And the only other guy making videos about China was Winston, Serpent ZA down in Shenzhen. And Shenzhen's totally different from Lanzhou. It's like there's no information.
What's the population there?
So about 4 million.
Oh, so it's tiny compared to
Yeah, it's a tiny town by Chinese standards.
Yeah.
So no information. So I said, when I move over there, I'm gonna make some videos and give people the information that I didn't have. What do I not know about? I've got to tell people so that they know what they're getting into. So that was how it all got started.
Nice. So also last year, how was 2020 for you? What was the experience?
I got extraordinarily lucky in some ways because I was able to mostly avoid the worst of the pandemic. Right when everything was really kicking off here, like I left and went back to the States. So I kind of missed all the really, really serious time here. Went back to the States to visit my family because it had been a couple of years since I'd been. And, in the States at that time, there was like 2 cases in like Los Angeles or something. So it's not my problem.
Yeah.
And then
what month?
Was like late January, early February, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as I was about to leave and come back at the end of February, like February 28th is when I came back, people in the States were just starting to kind of say, oh, this is a little bit weird. I don't like this. And they were starting to cancel flights. So 2 of my flights got canceled and I had to rebook them and all this. And I came over back to China 3 days before they shut the border. And so, I got so lucky. And then when I came back to China, everything was starting to kind of open up again, and everything was starting to kind of
as things were like closing down in the States, right?
Yes. Oh man, I got so lucky.
So you kind of missed the whole experience in China, then you missed it in the States.
Right. I got some of it in Yeah, I got some of it in China. I did.
Yeah.
I think I did. I didn't leave the house for like 10 or 11 days or something like that. That was my longest kind of stint.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
better than a lot of people back home. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like watching it from China? Watch all the stuff unfold in 2020.
Oh boy. Just a lot of this. Just that's basically. I just feel so bad for people like back home. It just because it's gone through this kind of initial wave of like fear and hysteria, and then it went through that kind of rebel phase. I don't care about it because I'm from Texas, and people in Texas are like, I don't care about Rona. We ain't. And then it just kind of these waves of sentiment and just all this uncertainty and.
Yeah, for me, it was more like, stop it.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. So
all right.
That checks out.
So I guess when you came back, I mean, because like people generally maybe have a fear of like, people flying in, especially if you're coming in from a infected area. Were you treated any different because people knew you're American?
I don't really remember any instances of being treated like really differently. I remember this was like after this was after like the main part of the pandemic when there was like fears of a second wave kind of thing. And like when they had just kind of opened the border a little bit and foreigners were starting to come back, just trickle in.
Yeah.
And people and the idea of like imported cases.
Yeah.
When that started happening, I would get a few looks. No one ever said anything to me, but I would get looks.
Kind of like thinking.
Or like people had their masks kind of down around their chin, like the chin diaper.
Yeah.
And then when I would like walk past them, I had my mask up and I saw them kind of go, when they put their mask back up. But no one's ever said anything to me. I went to film this documentary with some people, and there were like extra requirements for foreigners in the hotel. Like you had to have a COVID negative test and a couple other pieces of paperwork. But
so did you quarantine when you came back? Was it mandatory at that time?
No. I didn't quarantine. No, it wasn't mandatory. I missed that. But I was out traveling, filming a documentary for like these major outlets. It hasn't come out yet, but this was like maybe in October. And there was some extra stuff then. So, but
Was that like it'll be in like Chinese media kind of thing? Like it's.
So it's going to be. It's in conjunction with Time Magazine, the Telegraph, and then it'll also play in the Chinese embassy in Washington D.C. So it's for some big people.
Cool. Get your name out there.
Well, yeah, that's actually an exclusive. I haven't talked about that yet. So yeah, there you go.
All right. Wow. Exclusive on my channel. Awesome. All right, next question. Moving on to our big topic. Do you see the opportunities change for the ESL teachers, like English teachers, after 2020?
Well,
what's happened?
No, not particularly. I don't think. Like looking at the jobs websites, you wouldn't think anything's changed because there's still just as many jobs being posted. There's still like the salaries are the same, the amount of hours worked is the same, the package is the same.
I guess the question would be, do you think it's more of like a employer's market than before?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. an
I guess
employer's
it's more an
market.
advantage for the employers to pick and choose, since there's like, I don't know, unless it's like
Okay,
easier.
okay.
Are there fewer teachers? I guess it makes it easier.
Yes, there are a lot fewer teachers, so
Yeah.
it's actually better for the teachers because
Mhm.
there's so many job openings and there's so few teachers. It's supply and demand. You can kind
Yeah.
of do what
Yep.
you like. So, but yeah, at least in the next couple of years, I imagine it'll be a lot better for teachers.
Mhm.
But as things like the vaccine goes out and, Rona mutates and becomes just kind of another winter flu in the future, I don't
Mhm.
think I don't think it'll be too different. I do think the industry is or it's already in the process of kind of professionalizing in terms of like wanting teachers to have like certain certificates and have like certain amounts of experience and relevant degrees and things like that. That's already happening.
Yeah.
And like in the long term, I think that's only going to increase.
Okay. So that brings up my next question. If people are just wondering, what are the requirements to be a teacher?
So, okay, there's two kinds of teachers. There's legal teachers and there's illegal teachers. Now, if you're an illegal teacher, it's pretty much just be a foreigner. If you're willing to risk, if you're willing to risk like coming under one of those like raids, or willing to like put up with a lot of like BS, then you can just kind of your education doesn't really matter that much. But
Yeah.
if you want to be a legally employed teacher on a Z visa and all that sort of thing, then yeah, you'll need to have some sort of degree, like some sort of bachelor's degree. Teaching experience is preferable, and more schools are looking for previous teaching experience. And you'll need to have either like a TESOL or a TEFL certificate and a CELTA certificate, or not or a CELTA certificate, some sort of teaching certificate. I've seen more and more and more and more like jobs postings that require some sort of like certificate. So you got to have that now, whereas before you didn't used to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so like does it vary between job opportunities if you were to have like a degree in teaching English or like just a regular BA in anything?
Well, if you, I wouldn't. I would say that for the most part, there's not really any differences. Just if you have a degree of some kind, that's fine.
Yeah.
Depending on where you want to apply. So if you want to apply, let's say, an international school, international schools, funnily enough, like international high schools, have the highest requirements for any teachers, because a lot of them require teaching licenses from a person's native country. Like I would have to have one from the USA. And a lot of them do actually stick to like you need a relevant degree along with your teaching license. And if you're teaching English, you need a TESOL, TEFL, CELTA.
Like if you're working
pretty strict requirements.
Yeah, like if you're teaching a certain subject, right? Like you're doing math, maybe you're right.
Yes, yeah. I taught like a world civ, and then I taught rhetoric and composition. And that was because I had a degree in history, so that was the only reason I got that. So yeah,
interesting. I was interested in that in high school in social studies. I loved it, but then I didn't. Right. It was like, when am I going to use this? But yeah, actually, it is useful.
Exactly. Yeah.
Teaching English abroad, so
it can be, because a lot of training schools, like they have like little subsections of their schools that teach like AP tests for the USA. So if someone wants to go to high school or university in the USA, they take the AP history test or the AP calculus, physics, or whatever. And so I've also done that part-time in the past, like teach AP history exam material.
Awesome. All right. Let me see what next question I got here. All right, this is a different topic, but kind of along the same lines that we were talking about. What would your advice be for someone moving into China now to teach English?
Well, the thing is, you can't right now.
Yeah,
You can't move into China. So I would just say, go get a job for a year and then, see how it goes. But I've heard, I don't. It's a tough question because I have seen and gotten so many messages from people in the last year. They're like, "What do I do? What do I do?" Like I got a job offer from this company, but I can't come over because they can't get the paperwork for me, or the borders are shut. I'm from the UK, and nobody is allowed from my country. Or, I mean, what do you say to those people? It's like, sorry, it's just it's an unfortunate time for people who are looking to start their China journey.
Yeah. Unfortunately, unless you have your residence visa already, like an active one, then, and a job ready, right?
Right.
Other than that, you're not going. Yeah, I've already gone through that experience where it's like, yeah, my visa's okay. Then a few days later,
yeah, you were telling me
processing,
about that.
nope. So
yeah.
Most people have got to wait.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be probably a no-go for a lot of people.
Okay, by the way, I've seen people are leaving some questions in the comments. So maybe we can get to that at the end of the stream. We can maybe.
So I got just two more questions. So we probably reached that.
Okay.
Pretty soon. So
all right.
Why is there a lack? Oh, this is the big thing I ask everybody. So
okay.
I think you know what's going on, and it's been going on all last year, and it's still treading on. So what's going on in the community here? Not only the YouTubers, but like the subscribers as well.
Okay. All right. So one thing I think, this is just something that happens as communities get larger, they tend to fracture. That's just a rule of life, right? As a community gets larger, of any sort, whether it's like a classroom, if you have a class of 100, that class is going to be all over the place versus a class of 15 students, or whether it's like me and my audience. As my audience has gotten bigger, it has become more fractured, and so I think that is another thing. So you have a YouTube community that's blown up, especially since about 2015 or so. Like 2015, especially 2015 to 2018, more and more people started getting into YouTube. And especially since last year. Well, last year was a different sort of thing, but you had so many people coming in to the community, and if you have a YouTube channel, everyone who has a YouTube channel is to some degree a narcissist with a big ego, because you're thinking like, I have this really interesting life. I'm doing something special. Let me tell you about me. Like, so you have a group of all of these narcissists, myself included, who have these sort of egos and think that what they have to say is important.
Exactly.
And then they bump into someone who has a different opinion, and then they butt heads, and that happens, unfortunately. And with China, there's an added layer to that with how charged audiences can be and how charged the political issues can be.
Especially as Westerners, we seem to politicize everything.
Right. Yeah.
It's just my opinion. But
no, I mean, I agree to a certain extent. And so you have these people with all these like different who spin different narratives one way or the other, or you have people who try to ride the line in the middle. You have people who talk a lot about politics, and you have people who don't talk politics at all. And then because that is the issue that really tends to like separate the audiences and separate the creators.
All right, good one. I
So,
have one more question, but I'm going to leave it as a sign off. So let's go and see what questions people have here.
sure.
What's the first one?
Let's see. Here we
It's
go.
the Reinhardt. Is that the first one?
Yep. What a name.
All right. What's the transition like moving back and re-entering the US or Canada workforce? Austin, do you worry about these things like not having paid into Social Security, Medicare, being out so long?
Right.
That's a good question.
Right. It is a good question. And it's one that I'm thinking about. I am considering moving back to the USA the next few years, and I've started looking at that sort of stuff. It's really scary because you're uprooting your life. I'm uprooting my life and also my wife's life. My wife is Chinese and has never moved to another country. Yeah, so you have to, because and especially like if I go back to the US, like I would have to start from zero.
Yeah.
I'm not worried so much about like the Social Security and whatnot. I'm just worried about like rebooting my life because I don't want to teach in the USA. Teaching in the USA is scary, man. The kids in the US are rough. I don't want to do that, so I'd have to find another career.
Yeah.
And then to like completely change careers is really scary. And
I've done that.
I've thought about it. It's scary. What was it like for you?
7 years of stress. Like it was hard, man, because I didn't even have any like credit and stuff like that. I had to get credit cards. I had to get a cosign from my parents, get my first place. I mean, first place I actually got was like abroad, right? So I was always renting and stuff like that. So as soon as I thought about going back, and I'm like, well, I can't do teaching. I can't do ESL. I gotta get myself a career. That was like my main reason of going back, is I want to get an education, get a career, so I can be, I can have plan A or plan B. I can be in China or I can be in Canada. So I did an apprenticeship, which worked out because then I could work and study at the same time. And that was the only reason why I took an apprenticeship, and I took up a trade. So that actually is what I would suggest to some people if they can't if they think financially and stuff like that. It worked out, but it was still hard.
I was looking at that. I was looking at that as well. The U.S. does apprenticeships as well, so it's on the table.
Yeah, and I've seen actually just last year, I think it's a new thing. There's like even apprenticeships for bachelor's degrees. So a few of them. A few schools do that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so you guys look out for that if you guys are interested. All right, next question.
Yeah. Let's see.
How are you going to get free part-time? I don't know who that's for.
So, I think it's just like part-time teaching. I think he's just asking how do people get part-time work. If you want part-time work, people will just come up to you and just say, hey, like I get messages on WeChat about it, just like, hey, I've got a friend who's looking to learn English, and then you just say yes or no.
Kind of
like, I get those messages on the reg. Yeah, people just message you,
Well, interesting fact to add also, before 2015, for ESL teachers, you didn't actually require a bachelor's degree. This only came out after 2015. So I was there, I left before that.
That's right.
I left in 2013. So before that, I was actually not technically allowed to work, but I mean, as an ESL teacher, but I mean, you're okay doing part-time jobs. And they would give you like this card that's saying like you're allowed to work. Right. So, but that was like a different system before. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that now. Yeah.
No. Like I've never heard of this card. Like I never heard of it. Never.
Yeah.
But, working part-time was fine. You just have to work multiple part-time jobs to make up for that full-time. Right?
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
but it was
Let's
doable.
see.
I just don't know how it's like
Mhm.
today, but yeah.
Sure.
Is this another question? Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby's cool. He's one of my channel members. I like him.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Healthy
How do
diet.
you?
Well, if you want to check the diet
Yeah.
stuff, go to Austin's channel.
Yep. Yeah, I've done quite a lot of diet stuff. It's just like don't snack, don't eat sugar. Just eat your meat and vegetables.
Yeah, basically.
That's it. Don't eat too much rice. Yeah. Let's see. What
fruits and vegetables are better in China?
Oh, dragon fruit, man. Dragon fruit is the best.
All the fruit's better.
I had a really nice it was like a bird's nest soup in a papaya yesterday at lunch. I was like, oh man, it was, and I don't ever eat papaya, but for some reason I just dove into it. It was really, really nice. It was really nice.
I remember going down south. I think it was in Guangzhou or somewhere, and like just getting fruit. This is my first experience having fruit in China, and I remember just sitting on the side of the road with my wife, and we're just sitting there just eating all this like news. Like, try this, and I was just like, this stuff is so good, like so much better than it is back home, and like so much variety too. Yeah, so
yeah, the strawberries are way better here. I never eat strawberries back home. Yeah,
like strawberries
too
in Canada
sour.
are just sour.
Yeah.
Everything in Canada is sour because the climate and everything. We're good at berries and cherries, but that's about it.
Sure.
All right. Got a few minutes
there you go.
left.
So what? Yeah, it says somewhat related question: how difficult is it to get a job at an international high school not teaching English? We did sort of hit that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, is there any job?
Sorry, continue.
History teacher, I guess, but you're teaching in English, I guess. All the subjects are in English. If they're looking for like a foreigner who has a degree in mathematics or like history or science, there are jobs like that. Yeah, so you don't have to do English.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or even computers,
I know
right?
people. That's right. That's what I was about to say. I was like, I know people who've taught computer science. I know people who've taught psychology, physics. I've taught history, rhetoric, and composition. I know people who've taught basically every subject. Oh, I have a friend who's a music teacher. He teaches music at an international high school. So, you do, generally speaking, need to have that related degree. If you're teaching music, have a music degree. Teaching math, have a math degree. And
in some cases,
get as many other. Art. Yeah. I saw a job.
I worked at one, like as a part-time ESL teacher, but it was an art school, which was interesting. So they had this kind of like American style teaching, so kids would be more creative, right? So it was more of a creative kind of school, kindergarten. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, I actually saw some posts for art teachers yesterday. Oh, and dance teachers. That was interesting. I saw some dance teacher. Yeah. I haven't seen those for a hot minute, but that's the thing. Like if you, I have friends who are PE teachers, and they coach. They're like soccer coaches and stuff. It's you can teach anything here. If you're good, you can do it.
Yeah, there's also sports too. Yeah, golf. Soccer, basketball, of course. Famous basketball guys. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here with the last question for you. You to sign off here. What are your future plans for your channel? What should people be expecting?
Man, I feel bad for my audience because they never know what to expect, and good because I don't either. I really don't. Like, I have if I opened up my Evernote right now, there's a list of probably 60 video ideas, and I never know which one I'm gonna do. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like or sometimes I film something, and then for some reason or another, it's not usable. I think the next thing I'm going to do is an app review. Bobby, who's actually watching the stream right now, I think he asked me about this app called Chu Toutiao, Interesting Headlines. And I'm going to be doing that. I filmed that like 3 times, and I kept having technical difficulties. So maybe 4th time's the charm. We'll see.
So like Chinese apps, like chat apps in China,
yeah.
I guess?
Yes, I did one about secondhand apps, about like the secondhand market, and I did a couple of apps there. I've done Learn Chinese apps, and then that Headlines app will be the next one, I think.
Sweet.
So we'll see.
All right, this was great, man. I think that's a wrap. And thanks everybody for joining. Everybody coming over from Austin's channel. It's nice to see you guys here, and hope you subscribe if you like what you watch. Yeah. And anybody who hasn't heard of Austin, go check out his channel and subscribe. And he's got some great stuff. You're based in Chengdu, so if anybody's...
I am in Chengdu. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, if you like that spicy food, come on down. Yeah.
Oh, that Texan accent just came out.
Yeah, it does sometimes. Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. Thanks, Austin.